What's up, YouTube, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Dislyte again and gear. I've got a lot of people that have asked about gear. I've had questions about gear. People in the channel have had questions about gear, and I'm sure that you also have questions about gear. Now, if you come from games like Epic 7, which I do, this is going to be very, very easy for you to understand, and you're also going to be like, holy shit, man. I can't believe it. This is amazing. Okay, so first off, let's talk about gear. What is gear called over here? Gear is called relics. And before we actually go into the gear, where can you get the gear? You're going to go to Ritual Miracle. This is basically hunts for those of you who are from Epic 7, right? You've got different levels of hunts. You got different levels of gear, which they call relics in this one. So this is where you're going to be getting your primary sources of relics. You can also get them through the game, through story missions, stuff like that. Boom, Ritual Miracle. Now you're going to go there, you're going to farm a whole bunch of stuff, and you're probably not going to know why, but the game told you to. And you're going to be like, man, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if this is bad. That is where I am here to help you try to figure out at least a little bit of that, right? So you've got quite a few different sets, right? You've got War Machine, you've got your Windwalker, you've got your Astral Witchcraft, which is one that I'm kind of still trying to wrap my head around. You've got 4-piece bonuses, you've got 2-piece bonuses. I know I'm talking a lot really fast right now, and you probably don't know what all of it means. So we're going to go over to our espers. I'm going to kind of give you at least a little bit of a breakdown of what it is that you're looking at. So now you might be looking at this and you're like, okay, well, you know, the game has told me quite a few times, just slap some relics on your character. And then you get an achievement and everything like just flashes, and then you get a free thing, but you don't necessarily maybe know exactly what it is. So first off, let's take a look at this piece of gear right here. So this is going to be your Una 1. This is going to have a primary attack stat. This will always have a static primary attack set now, or attack stat. Now, how do I know? Here's the super magical, fantastic thing that the developers put into the game. Oh my goodness, look at this. You can search your inventory by substats. And if you look here on your Una 1, you only have a singular primary stat, and that's going to be attack. Now you can also get flat attack, percent attack, same with defense, HP, speed, crit rate, crit damage, or accuracy, and resist. This pretty much runs the full gamut. If you're from Epic 7, this is going to be your weapon slot. Now you're going to move over here to your Una 3. Now why did I skip the Una 2? Because you go from left to right, not up, down, up, down, up, down. Why would they do this? This makes no sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4. What are you doing? What are you doing, developers? Please change this retroactively, because aesthetically it bothers me. It messes with me a little bit. Anyways, this is going to be your Una 3. Now, if we take a look at the Una 3, guess what? This is going to be another flat primary stat. It's going to be your defense stat. If you're from Epic 7, this is going to be your chest piece. You're only going to have defense on it. But again, much like your weapon, you have all of the substats possible on this. Now, we're going to take a look here at the Una 2 because we're going out of order. This is going to be your necklace slot. This one is going to have percentage main stat. So this is going to be the one that's going to be kind of tough. The two and the 4 are a little bit tough because you have percentage and you have flat main stats. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about where flat main stats are better versus percent main stats. Spoiler, they're kind of not. Early game they are, but later on in the game they are not. But you can have flat attack, percent attack, flat defense, percent defense, HP, same crit rate and crit damage. Now, this is a really good slot if you do not have a lot of crit rate and you're not using Funky Chai, because you want to crit. So having crit rate main stat, it's pretty important, because, well, if you don't crit, if it ain't 100%, might as well be 50%, which might as well be 0%. Later on, once you have some of your crit rate into some of your other skills, or into some of your other pieces, maybe you have like skills that give you crit rate, like I said, like Unky Chai, you can maybe shift over to an attack bonus percent or a crit damage. So, you know, that is what it is. This is something that you're going to want to look at later on when it comes to min-maxing for your units. Now, obviously, you're not going to be using a crit rate or crit damage if you're running a support character. I know you're probably going to want to run percent defense or percent HP so that your supporters don't die and then they can continue to support. Now, on this one, you will notice that all of the substats are available here as well, including speed. So, you know, you have the full run of the substats there as well on the 2. Now, if we come over here to the 4, this is going to have a different set of main stats. You're going to have all the same substats, but you have attack, percent attack, defense, HP, accuracy, and resist. You can't get crit chance or crit damage on this one. So this is going to be like your ring slot in Epic 7. You'll, again, a lot of Epic 7 stuff. Right now, we come over here to the MUI 1 and the MUI 2. Now, MUI 1, this is going to be your helmet. This is always going to have flat HP. But again, all of the substats are available. So this is going to be your helmet piece, and then this is going to be your boot piece. Why do I say that? Because this is the only piece in the game that has speed main stat. And if you ain't going fast, you're going last. Most of the time, you're probably going to want to run some sort of speed main stat on this. Speed seems to be pretty important at the moment in like PvP, especially if you are running like any sort of debuffer comps. There's control comps that I've seen so far, but a lot of the times I have been mostly trying to get speed main stat boots. If you come over and watch me on Twitch to stream this, I will reference these as boots. Probably 100% of the time. And speed is kind of ridiculous. The fact that you could get a speed main stat with a speed substat with an attack percent with crit damage and crit rate on it, kind of ridiculous. Let's be real. For those of you who do play Epic 7, just imagine this boot. Just think about it for a minute. Just think about it. But what are you going to be looking for the most part when it comes to stats? Now that's a whole other thing. And before I get into that, really, I wanted to talk a little bit, and then we crunched some numbers here a little bit ago, because if you do notice on a lot of these pieces, right, there is a flat and a percent substat, right? You have flat attack versus percent attack. Now, if we're taking a look at, a 6-star piece, and the other thing too, right? I should have clarified this too. You'll also notice that there are different ranks of gear in this game, right? There is your 6-star, 5-star, 4-star, and then pretty much anything under 4-star. Is it even worth equipping? Is it really gear? Do you want to put points into it? No. You don't want to waste your gold on that. Don't bother. After you get to the point where you can get purple and realistically gold gear is, I think, the first place that you should really start investing any of your gold into gear. That's really what it is. Please don't plus 15 any blue gear or green gear. It's literally just a waste of gold. Do yourself a favor. But what does that correlate to? That correlates to your base stats. Now, if we take a look here, yeah, we're already on the Una 1, right? So if you look, you have a starting base attack of 40% on this with a speed of 4, attack bonus of 4, right? And if we're looking at attack bonuses, like, so if we come over here to this one, you'll notice that this one starts with 30% or 30 flat attack as the main, and then 3% as the sub. And then if we come over here, it's 25 and 2. And then obviously as you go further and further down, that goes further and further down. So that's pretty much the difference on those. Now, for those of you who play other games, you'll know that sometimes when you roll a substat, there is a range of substats. In this game, all of these substats are static. That's right. Yeah, there's no rolling 1 speed. If that bad boy has 4 speed on it, guess what happens when you get another speed roll? It's 8 speed. That's right. Yeah. Is it 5% crit rate? guess what? It goes up to 10%. Well, just like right here. Yeah, 4% attack, that's 8%. So the RNG of the ranges on your substat rolls, even your main stat rolls, gone. Gone. Now, there are 3 ranks of gear, by the way. There is superior, there's elite, and then there's flawless. Well, backwards. So elite, superior, flawless. Elite is going to have 2 substats on it. Superior is going to have 3 starting substats on it. And then flawless is going to have 4 substats on it. Now, you are going to want to eventually, flawless obviously is the best, right? Because if you have 2 substats on something, when you level it up, you get a 3rd one at +3, and then you get a 4th one at +6. If it's an elite, you get a new substat at +3, and then the rest of the rolls go into the already existing rolls, so they'll double up on things. So that is what you are going to want to look for, is the flawless pieces that have, you know, the stats that you need. Now, what are the other stats? So there's also accuracy and resist as well. All the other ones are pretty straightforward, right? Accuracy is going to help you land your debuffs, and resist is going to help you not get debuffed. So those are going to be things that you're going to be wanting to look out for when it comes to supports that debuff or supports that cleanse. You're going to want to put them on resist sets so that they don't get debuffed, and then they can cleanse everybody. But that's a whole other strategy portion. I was going to talk about the flat stats, right? So 6-star gear, like I mentioned, attack, defense, and HP start at 4%. Flat attack and flat defense are 25 flat stats. Flat HP is 300 on 5-star gear and 400 on 6-star gear. The 5-star gear attack, HP, defense is 3%. Flat attack and defense are 21. Now, if you are looking at your base stats right here, every character has different base stats. This is obviously my level 60 Nezha. This is my level 60 Gabrielle. This is the level 60 Mona. All of these characters have different substats. Now, one thing that you want to take into account is where the flat substats fit in terms of their base stats. Now, all of your gear is going to be based off of their base stats. So the base stats don't change until once they're completely leveled up. It will change as you're going through the game, right? As you level up your character and all of that, your base stats will change and increase, mostly just your attack, your HP, attack, and defense, since speed, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, and resist all stay the same. So there is that. But let's take Mona for example, right? For the percent attack and defense to be better than flat attack and defense on a piece of 6-star gear, that number has to be lower than 625, since the 4% is going to be much higher give you much more value than the flat 25, right? So right here, obviously attack is 1255, so that's not even close. You would get half of the stats from a flat attack than you would from a percent attack. Defense is 860, so you're still going to be way better off with percent defense. But where Mona shines is flat HP. That's right, 4% flat HP. You would have to have under 10,000 HP to make a difference. So technically, if you are trying to beef your Mona up, you want to make sure that she doesn't die. You want to get a little bit of extra min-max ability out of your farming Artemis. Flat HP is actually better on Mona than percent HP. Now, you don't really have to do that with Mona. Let's be real. She's a fighter. You're probably going to want to increase her defense stat or her offensive stats over her defensive stats. If you're looking at somebody like Gabriella, you're not even going to remotely come close to needing flat stats on anything that she has. Her base HP is 14,000. Even her base attack is not going to benefit from attack. Not that you really need attack on her at all. And 1,000 defense, yeah, isn't going to be making flat defense worth it really in the long run. Now, this is from a min-maxing gear standpoint. I'm not saying that in all situations that if a piece of gear has flat defense on it, that it's literally trash and that you should throw it away. If you have two or three other substats on a piece of gear, especially when you're leveling up, that gear is absolutely usable until you have a better piece of gear. One of the nice things about this game is that there is no unequip costs. So you can just switch gear around from every person that you want for any situation. Let's say you're using Unki Chai for something, and all of a sudden you're like, oh snap, I need the necklace from from this dude or this chick. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just put it on him. Doesn't cost me a bit of gold, nothing. It's phenomenal. One of the other things too to point out here when it comes to things like growth, if you look here in resonance, you are going to, these are literally just additional percentages. We tested this out earlier to see if these went on to the base stats. These are just extra pieces of gear. So if you wonder like, hey, how good are dupes in this game? It's literally just like another piece of gear, and actually considering that the stats on the gear itself are pretty low, having 16% plus attack is pretty big, actually. Yeah, a lot of people are like, hey, dupes aren't really that important in this game, but the simple fact that you could have, where's the dude that I put like everything into? Hold on. Is it this one? I think I've got enough to put everything into this guy. No, I don't. But you can get more. I only have him at 4 dupes. You get 2 more dupes, and I'm pretty sure you get 24% max. I'm pretty sure that's something that you get is 24% on your resonant. Yeah, 24%. So if you just went into straight into this, you would get 24% worth of stats. So if you're wondering how good dupes are, that's 24% of gear. 24% of a piece of gear into one of your primary 3 stats. So that is pretty important. But when it comes to gear, that is like what to put on gear. One of the nice things is you can come in here to strategy, and it will give you an idea of what type of gear is most popular, right? So Hammer of Thor set with crit rate, War Machine with crit rate, Hades set with counterattack set. So then you can just kind of figure out, where do I need to farm? Is my DPS good? Do I need to put some stuff on to support? And then kind of go from there. But that is pretty much the gear in a nutshell. It's actually a lot more straightforward once you figure all of that out. And yeah, after that, it's just fishing for the right piece of gear with the right substats, and then leveling it up and going from there. If you guys have any questions or want to know anything else, let me know in the comments section. If you like this video, as always, like, fave, subscribe. Let me know if you have any other questions or you'd like to see videos on any specific stuff. Gabriella has a super fat dumpy, and I just wanted to close the video out with this. This is probably like the hottest character in the game. So, as always, I'm Shotgun Shogun, and that's Gabby's Dumpy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.